Good morning. Happy New Year. I'm back. I have lots to share with you today. Tomorrow starts Sale-a-Bration, and I am so excited for it. I'm Stephanie Flath, Stampin' Up demonstrator. Sometimes I forget to say that. You can find me anytime. Hi, Sherry. You can find me anytime on my website at dazzledbystamping.com. And any Wednesday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Facebook. I do a Facebook Live every week. So thank you for joining me today. Or even if you're doing a replay, you know, that's a good thing too. So Sale-a-Bration starts tomorrow. That means a few things. First of all, that means that, good morning. I know, I'm so excited. Sale-a-Bration is here, Sherry. That means that there is a year-end clearance that is ending today. So if there's something, hi Susan, if there's something that you, no, it's called year-end closeout. That's what it's called. And then there's also a clearance rack. So there's two different things. So today's the last day for you to get the year-end closeout stuff. So that's anything that's in the holiday catalog that is retiring. So today's the day to do that. It doesn't count towards getting free Sale-a-Bration items though. That doesn't start till tomorrow. So just keep that in mind. But there's still a lot on the clearance rack if you have an interest in that. Okay, so to remind you what Sale-a-Bration is, in case you are just joining me or forgot or haven't heard about it or whatever, Sale-a-Bration is our, sorry, I'm making the table bounce again, the camera bounce. The Sale-a-Bration is a time when Stampin' Up has a separate brochure out with special products in it, and the items in that catalog you can only earn with purchases. So with every $50 order that you place, or like if you place a $100 order, then you get two things. But anyway, so with every $50 that you order, you get a free item. And there's also a couple items that are like bigger or whatever. And if you place a $100 order for that, you can get that free. So it's so much fun. Plus, hostesses have, they get more free stuff too. So that's a good thing. As long as you have a $250 workshop, your sales total, you get an extra $25 of free product. And now your hostess benefits, it doesn't ever include Sale-a-Bration items, so you still have to spend to be able to get those, but your like your normal free stuff, you get extra of that. So that's cool. And it's an amazing time for you to sign up to be a demonstrator with me and be on my Dazzling Demos team. I'm really excited about this. Okay, so I have to show you again. I've shown it to you in the past. I have to show you. So I gotta get good lighting though. Okay, I'm gonna back up a little bit too. Okay, so this bag, this craft and carry tote is what Stampin' Up is calling it, is something that you can choose to add to your kit. So normally the kit's always $99, which it still is. It's still $99, and you get to choose $175 worth of product for your $99, and you don't pay shipping. Ah, love it. You just pay tax. So it's still $99, but if you would like the craft and carry tote, you can pay $129 instead and get the tote. And of course, there are always openings on my team if you would like to join me. I would love that. So if you have questions or would like information, I know I love the bag too, Susan. Oh, another thing, that reminds me. So I know that you're wanting to do a workshop during Sale-a-Bration, and I need to call you about that. Another thing that you can keep in mind is if you wanted to sign up and you're a hostess, you can choose to use your hostess benefits to put towards the purchase of your kit. So let's say you had $50 of hostess benefits. You can use all or part of that towards the purchase of the kit. So I love that. That makes, and then you get to choose your $175 of product, because that's what comes with the kit. So anyway, it's a fun time, and I'm really excited. So I'll have to call you and see what timing you're thinking for your workshop. Okay. So, so there's one more thing that I want to mention to you. I don't know why I didn't think of this before. But okay, so I've shown you, I think on my lives, I've shown you using the Stampin' Blends or the alcohol-based markers on pearls and rhinestones, and I just showed the droplets, the epoxy droplets. And I don't know why I didn't think of this before, but you can also do the clear faceted gems. I just did it because I was using up some of the things that I was I made extra with the baby wipes technique, and so I have to show you this. So here's a card that I made after with all the stuff, with some of the, this is just different colors. I don't think I used these colors for you guys. But anyway, so here's my my clear faceted gem. I did it with my mint macaroon Stampin' Blend. So I always use the darker one so that the color shows up better. But I was so excited that I thought of it. I don't know why my mind just like focuses on what I've been told instead of learning more. Anyway, so I just thought I'd share that with you. So they're called clear, but when you let me show you. This is what they are in case you've not seen them. So they're called clear faceted gems. They're $5. But they look kind of silver to me without color. The one thing about this is they're a little bit harder to color only because they're closer together than like the rhinestones are. So if you don't want to get it to the next one, you just have to be you just have to be more careful. That's okay. I know, I love those, Susan. Aren't they cool? Okay, so I have I don't know if any of you are following anybody else online or whatever. It's allowed. But I've held off on showing anything from Occasions or Celebration because you couldn't buy it, so I didn't want you to just be like, I want it right now. So, but a lot of people have been showing a bunch of butterflies, and I was going to try to stay away from showing the butterflies today, but I couldn't. I love them too much. And I'm planning to have a class next month. I've put together, I'm thinking I'm going to do five cards, but I only put together 4 for this class so far. But I'm going to show you 2 of the cards together that I'm going to do for the class. But I'm not going to show it to you until I make it. So anyway, I just have to show you this. So I'm going to be making 2 cards kind of at the same time because I want to show you the amazingness that I love about, you probably know that I'm going to use the Rectangle Stitched Framelits. Sorry, I had to think of what they're called, how it's stated. So I showed you these last week, but I'm going to show you them again. So here are the Rectangle Stitched Framelits. They don't come on this card. I bought these magnet cards from Stampin' Storage. Excuse me, sorry. I love these, and they're double stitched, like the I forgot what there was a bundle in August that was exclusive, and it was the framelits were double stitched, and I just love it. And so this particular set of cards shows the coolness of the double stitched part. So first I'm going to show you the stamp set that I'm going to be using, or the bundle actually. So this is called Butterfly Gala, and it's part of the Gingham Gala suite. In the, have you guys gotten, Sherry and Susan, you're the only ones that I know that are on here. Have you guys gotten your occasions or celebration catalogs yet? I've been hearing people are not getting them. So anyway, so this is in the occasions catalog. So this is something that you can buy. It's on page 35, and then it is bundled with this punch. There we go. I forgot what the punch by itself is called, but anyway, so this bundled together, it's $35. It's photopolymer, and that will actually help me because it's $35 on page 35. So, hi Lynn, thanks for joining us. So I'm going to be using this, and I have some tips for you, and yeah, I love the butterflies. Susan, oh yes, that you really like it, or you got your catalogs, or what's the, oh yes, just excited to see butterflies. Okay, so I'm gonna get started, and I'm gonna be, oh, there's one more thing I have to show you. It's amazing. But I only have one piece out, but I need to see if there's my others. Okay, so there's one more part of the, I can't find it. Oh, I hid it. Just a second. There's one more part of this bundle, not bundle, suite, that's entirely amazing, sorry for the loud, you got it in the mail. Oh, good. Okay. It's entirely amazing, and I had to have it right away. In fact, so we can do pre-orders when new catalogs come out before you guys are able to, before you even see the catalog, let alone are able to order it. And but we are, what's the word? Limited. That's the word. We're limited to how many of them that we can get. Like, we can only get one of a stamp set or one of a bundle. And anything that's consumable, we can get 3 of. So I bought the bundle at the pre-order. Well, I actually got an earlier pre-order. So I bought the bundle at a pre-order, and we can get 3 consumables, and so I bought all 3 because I just knew I wanted these. Okay, so this is our gingham designer paper. Sorry, I'm trying to get it in there. Okay, so the colors here are Balmy Blue, Lemon Lime Twist, shoot, is it Grapefruit Grove, or I think it's Grapefruit Grove because that's what I'm using. Yeah, Grapefruit Grove. I suddenly thought it was Calypso Coral. Highland Heather and Daffodil Delight. Okay, so here's one side, and here's the other side. So it's just a finer gingham, and I love these. And this is what I'm going to be, using for this cards, or these cards. I'm making 2 cards at one time. Sorry for the noise when I open packaging. That's so annoying. And I need a drink already. So I'm planning my class for this Butterfly, is it called Butterfly Gala? Yes, the Butterfly Gala. I'm planning the class to be a product-based class. So for the class, you're gonna pay a fee, and you will get the gingham designer paper and 2 embellishments. One is, I might as well show you these while I'm talking about them. So there's also Gingham Gala adhesive backed. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it though. Adhesive backed sequins. So half and half they are. Let me just show you one so that you can see. They're in all the colors that are in this suite that I just showed you of the designer paper. Half of them are circles and half of them are little flowers. So they're so cute. So this is one of the things, and then there's going to be ribbon. So on all of the projects that we're doing, we're going to be using all those things. Or, yeah, we'll just go with it. So anyway, and I'm having a hard time getting it back in, so I'm giving up on that. But I need one of them out. Okay, so I am using this color. Ooh, that was bad color. Hi, Lisa Marie. That was not good lighting when I showed you that. Okay, so this is the Grapefruit Grove, and I'm going to be using it on 2 cards, and this is what I love about the double stitch. So I'm moving this over so that I can move my Big Shot. And that means that I'm putting you down to start stamping. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to put you down. Remember that you can keep commenting and asking questions or whatever, but I can't see what you're asking or saying or whatever. Okay, so I have my, can you see it? That's really bad lighting. What is going on? Can you see it on there? So I have my piece of my gingham designer paper on there, and I'm using my, I forgot which size that I want. Just a sec. I feel like I know it, but I need to double check something. I don't know where I want. We're gonna go with this. Okay, so I'm using one of my my framelits, my double stitched Rectangles framelits, and I'm gonna center it on my card or on my designer paper, and I have my sandwich all set up for thinlits. So we'll run this through. You don't have to run this back and forth through it because it's just one layer and it cuts through easily. Okay, so sorry, I'm gonna put my base back here a second. I have my paper piercing mat underneath here because I'm using photopolymer, and I always like cushion underneath it. It just makes it go better. It doesn't look like I centered it very well. That's okay, it'll work. But I guess look at it before you put it down. I'm not used to using my Big Shot sideways. I don't use it sideways ever except when I'm on camera, so that didn't work. Okay, so I have my, you can see this against the white. So I have one piece here, and I'm going to show you up close. I showed you last week. I hope it can focus with it that close. Okay, so there's stitching right here on this piece. But then also, I gotta pop this one out. There's stitching on this one that was removed too. I don't know if you can see that. It looks really blurry to me, so I'm sorry if you can't see it. But anyway, so I love the double stitching, so both of these pieces have it on there. So I'm going to make a card with both of these pieces. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one down, the large frame down on white. And I do not know what I did with my adhesive. What in the world? There it is. Okay. Now I can flip it over if I want. I'm still going to see the stitching, but I want the large gingham to show. So I want it on all. I grabbed one that ran out. Oh, there it is. It was right on top of my ink pad. That one ran out. I cut it a little bit smaller than the card. So this piece is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And you know what? Just a sec. I'm going to lift this up, hopefully. Since I don't have it centered on here, I prefer to have it have the bigger section at the bottom. Sorry, wasn't really thinking, or I thought that it would be okay. So I'm just going to turn this around. It just seems more pleasing to the eye since I don't have it centered to have it raised up a little bit rather than down. Okay, so here's my card so far. Now the first thing that I'm going to do is I should do my stamping with my, no, I'm going to do my words. Okay, so I'm going to do, there's a stamp in here that says, thank you so very much. So I'm going to ink it up. It's bigger than the ink pad, so I kind of always go over all over my ink pads anyway to make sure in case I have a dry spot anywhere, make sure that I'm not missing something. Sorry if I'm shaking you. And I also always test it on my scrap because photopolymer plus a fabric pad does not always work well together immediately. So I'm going to put this right here. So here's my thank you very much. And then I'm going to put some embellishments on here. I'm kind of doing this probably a little bit backwards, but that's okay because you'll get the idea. So I'm going to put this. This is one of the Grapefruit Grove what are they called? Adhesive backed sequins. I have that off center a little bit on purpose. Okay, so they're all part of that one package. Now I'm going to add my butterfly to it. So the first thing that I need to do is ink up the butterfly. Okay, so I want to show you on here. Can you see? I'll put my, I'm not sure that's any better. The butterflies are together. There's the large one and the small one, and they're put together so that you can stamp them at the same time and be able to punch them. Ugh. Not getting what I want here. One spot is not inking up. Oh, it's being annoying to me. Just a sec. I need ink refill. We'll see if that helps. Alright, so this is how I refill my ink pads. I just scribble. Alright, let's try this again. Ah! What is going on? This one, little edge of my butterfly is not stamping. One more time. There. Okay. Phew, all that for a butterfly. Okay, so we're inking these up. I'm kind of going to the right because of where I want to hold my cardstock to be able to do this. So they both stamped at the same time. So now I can punch them both out at the same time. Shut that for now. So I just line them up. I always use my punch upside down so that I can see it. Now, one of the things that I have in mind is I'll just pull it. Having a problem with my words today. So I have a little container that I'm using. If I'm not planning to use one of the butterflies, I'll just put it in here so that I have some for another time. So that's just helpful. Okay, so this butterfly, I'm just going to, I don't want it to all be colored. I'm just going to color some parts of it. So I'm using Grapefruit Grove, and I like symmetry. I think butterflies are usually colored symmetrical, but If they're not, mine are. My rules, my card, you know, I get to decide. So I'm just coloring here and there, adding some color here. So I'm trying to go right across from wherever I already colored. And there's one more thing I forgot. Okay, so with this butterfly, you get, or both the butterflies, you get 2 sizes of bodies. And can you see on the, I know it's upside down, but, so there's the space for the body right there. So I'm just going to ink this up, and I can go right on it. So here's the body on there, and there's a smaller one for the smaller butterfly too. I did not stamp that on there. I'll have to keep that in mind later. Okay, so I'm done with this butterfly, and what I want to do is use a tiny little bit of tear and tape. Actually, I'm using more. Okay, so which side do I want down? No, I do want just the middle. Okay, so I'm using a little bit of tear and tape on the back of my body here, and I can't tear that, so I'm just going to fold it. So I'm going to pull the backing off, and because I have too much, I'm just going to fold it on itself. That's always good to keep in mind, so in case you can't get it off or you have just a little bit too much, you can do that. Okay, so here's what I like to do for my butterflies. So I put the tear and tape down, so I have the bottom is, or the body is going to be, oops, stuck to the card. But then I use dimensionals sometimes so that I can pop the wings up. So I'm using the little mini dimensionals. So I have my backing off the center already. And I kind of bend it a little bit so that it tries to stay that way too. And then I press my body down, and then I have the dimensionals right there to hold it up. So here's my first card. Then I'm going to move on to my other card. So this time I have the Grapefruit Grove as the background, and I'm going to use, there are stamps that come in this set. I'll show you this set again so you can get an idea. So there are stamps that come in this set. I gotta make sure it's not glaring. So like this is for coloring in the back of the background of the butterfly, and then this is for coloring it in as well. So there's 4 different styles of the sets of butterflies here, and then there's the background so that you can just stamp it if you want to. So I'm using the mini butterfly. I'm using the background of it for a background stamp actually. So I'm just going to use this. I want it just like at random and kind of everywhere here and there. So once I have that background done, it's just really simple, nothing extravagant or anything. And once I have that down, then I'm going to take this piece that I cut out from my frame earlier, and I'm going to put this down on this card. So this one's going to go like this. Alright, so I got it started here. And I feel like I did my words backwards than how I designed it. So I have a little note. That's what this saying says. So we're going to put that right here for a little note. And then I'm going to stamp butterflies again. Hope this one goes better this time. Alright, I need to move it over so I can actually see if it's doing well or not. Ha! Much better. Okay, so I'll ink this up. I don't know what was going on with that earlier. I'm going to stamp this again. Oh, and then it doesn't do it well on there. I don't know what's up with the corner of that butterfly. I'm going to flip it. Okay, that's good. All right, before I punch these out, I'm going to cover my ink pen. I'm going to color in the butterfly. So the mini one, I'm just using this background stamp that I always, that I was already using for the background. Can you see him? He's colored now. Okay, and then I'm also going to use this one. So I have two stamps on here. I have the top and the bottom on here. I could just use markers if I wanted to, but I don't want to. So I'm making the top the Grapefruit Grove. Let's close this up. And then the bottom, I'm going to do the Lemon Lime Twist. So I have one on one side and then I flip it and I can use the other on the other side. I'm going to put that down. Ta-da! Alright, now I'm not doing the bodies until after I punch it out because then I don't have to guess where I have to stamp the bodies. Okay, so just like before, I can tuck this in. You can see it better now too because they're colored. Tuck this in. Make sure they're lined up and punch it out. Okay, so where did I put my body stamp? There it is. So ink this up and stamp that body. Flip it over. I did the same thing. I have it on front and back. I usually, when I do these, I usually offset it. So, oops, that's the wrong one. I offset it so that I can see one is high and one is low, so they're not in the way for stamping. And I did the same thing with these bodies. This side is over here and the back side is on this side. Okay, now I'm kind of going to do the same type of thing that I did before. So I'm just going to put a dimensional on the back of this one. I gotta find, there. I'm just going to put a dimensional on the back of the mini butterfly. And it's going to go here. And then this one I wanted to do differently. And I'm putting tear and tape on the, I always struggle finding the end. Tear and tape on one side of the wings. And then I'm going to put dimensionals on the other side of the wings. The other set of wings. Is it a set of wings? They don't actually, do they truly have 4 wings or just, I guess it would be 2 sections of the wing. Something like that. Okay, so this side has the tear and tape and this side has dimensionals. So I'm going to put this down like that. I feel like I need another one. I don't know how I didn't have it before. So this one we're going to, I'm using one of my extras, except then I got to do the body. That was handy to have extras. All right. So this one, I'm going to color this one. Most of it. I'm not being picky on how well I'm coloring. I want the ends, the little dots on the ends. Okay. Another dimensional. And there's another card. I love these. Okay, so can I get them both in? I still struggle going back and forth with this. Okay, so I love that I have two cards there. They look different, but they have same properties. I got to use both sets of my my rectangle framelits, and anyway, I just love this. These butterflies are so much fun. So I'm going to pull you back up now. So this is something, oh, I'm glad that you like those. Yeah, they're not a lot of work, Lynn. I love being able to do that with, I already said this, but when I'm making two cards kind of at the same time and they're using elements of each other, it just, I don't know, they just seem like they come together pretty quickly. And I love that they coordinate. So so this is something that is going to be part of a class that I'm going to be having next month, and I will put information out on my blog and whatever. I'm glad that you love them, Susan. Oh, and so remember, that made me think, because you got the last set of cards that I did. They did go out in the mail on... Hi, Mary. Thanks for joining us. They did go out in the mail for you, Susan. And so if you guys want these two cards that I just made, you have to... I always forget how to say it. I have to think through it. Sorry, I have a headache today. My mind's just not working well. Okay, so you have to share this video and like it and comment that you shared so that I know that you did it. So, because sometimes I don't see them. Thanks for sharing, Lynn. So keep that in mind, and I will do my drawing on Monday, just like usual. And then, oh, that was Mary. Okay. So I got to make sure that I told you my tips. Okay, so I told you about keeping a container of extra punched butterflies. That helped me even when I was doing this, making these cards. And I also wanted to mention, I'm a little hesitant to do it, but I'm still going to do it. And I'm going to put you back down so that I can show you. I'm going to put some I'm going to put some cardstock down so that it's better, what do you call it? Contrast. Okay, so what I'm going to do it with a different one that I know I'm not going to use very much. There's one set of butterflies that it's just not my favorite. It's like looks like leaves and feathers and whatever. Okay, so I told you that, thanks for sharing, girls, appreciate it. Okay, so I told you that, can you see this piece? So this is the photopolymer piece. It has the large one and the mini butterfly on here. And I told you that they're put together so that you can use with this double punch here. And so you don't have to worry about lining it up. But I want to show you something that you can do, because sometimes maybe you just don't want to punch them out. So I'm doing it to the one that I'm not going to use more often. I'm still deciding if I want to do this more or not. Okay, so here is my stamps. And what you can do, this is especially okay, or it works with photopolymer, you can actually cut them apart. I'm just going to make clean cuts to cut them apart. So if I just want to do the upper or the large one, or just want to do the small one, I can. But then, I'm going to take this one off so that you can see it okay. But then, because it's photopolymer, you still can line it up. So I have my large one here. And then I just want to butt it right up against it, so you can't even tell that, at least when you stamp it, I mean, I can tell that there are lines right here. You can't even tell that they were cut apart. So if you don't want to mess with, I don't want to have all these extra butterflies around, or let's say, like, for me to do this card, well, any card, it makes sense on this card, but let's say that you just want to stamp a single butterfly and want to color it and not punch it out. Having them cut apart to be able to do that and just stamp and color rather than punching it out and mounting it on your card. It would be helpful to be able to cut them apart. And so photopolymer works perfectly for that. Okay, so that's all that I have to show you about that. Yeah, I have done that with not too many of my stamps, but one of them that I remember doing first was what was it called? It was the beach set. A lighthouse. What was that? High Tide. There's a set of like 6 seagulls flying in the distance, or I assume seagulls. Anyway, there's a set of 6 seagulls, and it's this big long piece, and I cut it apart so that I could hit excuse me, sorry, some in one part of my card and some in another part. So and then if I want them all together, then I can just mount them on my block perfectly fine. So okay, so that was it. Tomorrow starts Sale-a-Bration. If you have any questions, let me know. If you I will have hostess codes set up for all the clubs that are going this month already. And so I think that's it that I have to show you. Oh, okay, I have to show you one more thing. So this is the first card that I made with anything in any of the new stuff. I fell in love with this, and it was my swap for one of my swap groups. Okay, so here is the card that I made. This is one of the bigger Sale-a-Bration sets, and I forgot the name. Something Lily, obviously. So I did this angle cut here. Oopsie, I put this down first. I used my Stamparatus to line up all these. It says Dear Friend. I colored this. I forget which way I have to go. I colored this little heart. They're epoxy hearts. They're kind of flat, so that's helpful for the mail. I colored that in Highland Heather. And I don't know if you can tell. I'm trying to tip it to see if you can tell. You can't. Yeah, I like those angle cuts too. I forgot what they're called though. There's a name for it, and I can't remember what it is. So on my, I used the Stamparatus for the Lily also, so that because I was doing so many of them. But I used the Wink of Stella so that it's kind of shimmery too. So if and when you see it in person, it'll be shimmery. So I just had to show you this. I love the soft sea foam. I love the Highland Heather, and they're just gorgeous colors. And then my layer here, I tried So Saffron, but it wasn't as soft as I wanted it. So it's very vanilla is that background behind it. So, okay, that I think is the last that I have to tell you or show you. So I thank you for joining me today. I had fun with you, and I hope that you learned stuff. And if this wasn't already on your wish list, I'm hoping that it is now. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys at my my events. And any of you just watching online, you always can order from me on my website, dazzledbystamping.com. So I will have information on my classes up later. So thank you so much. Have a great day. It's on your wish list. All right, sounds good. Have a great day. Thanks for joining me. Bye.